Okay, we'll now move on to public comment. We have 3 individuals signed up for public comment. I'll call you out in order just to give you a slide. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. At the end of the 3 minutes, the clock will go off, and that will conclude your statement in public comment. So the first person to speak is Mr. Michael Harris.
I also had some petitions I wanted to give the commissioners. First, thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight. You shouldn't have anything to worry about if you're not doing anything illegal. There is no right to privacy if you can be seen from a public vantage. These are just a few comments and discussions about Flock on local Facebook groups, and most people are choosing to ignore the larger point. The cameras aren't the issue. Cameras are everywhere these days, and we're being recorded by several, or at least one, at this very moment. The lack of privacy in public as law was put into place back before ubiquitous video was a thing. Back before having security cameras on every corner was a thing. Back before all the cameras were linked into one big network. Back before that network was controlled by AI that can track and collate video data orders of magnitude faster and better than anyone before. And yes, anyone who has a modern cell phone, OnStar, or a cloud-connected car is being tracked. But in those cases, there's at least an expectation that a warrant is required before that tracking data is handed over to anyone. In the case of Flock, you're being tracked by a company that isn't accountable to anyone except, at best, their paying customers. It's the platform that's the problem, not simply the camera. Many people think that users of Flock only have access to still images of plates and not occupants. Flock's platform goes further. Freeform AI includes AI search for people by physical description based on their patent, Flock's patent, which classifies people by race, gender, height, and weight in a searchable database. Raven, sold for gunshot detection, now listens for human voices in distress. It's also been demonstrated that Flock's platform is insecure. There are more than 22 confirmed vulnerabilities in the federal cybersecurity database. A camera can be taken over in 30 seconds. Condor cameras found online without passwords included live footage viewable by anyone. Flock also has a history of making changes without notifying customers. A few examples. In Mountain View, California, Flock enabled a nationwide setting without police knowledge. Federal agencies access local data without Mountain View knowing. Cambridge, Massachusetts, Flock installed cameras after the council ordered their deactivation. Washington State, Border Patrol accessed 10 departments' data that those departments never agreed to share. When was the last time anyone in Mitchell County performed an audit, as required by North Carolina statute, to see how local footage is being used? When is the next scheduled audit, and where will the results be published? These cameras can and have been used for good purposes, but the company behind the cameras is not concerned with the privacy and security of the citizens of Mitchell County. Any further use of Flock cameras in Mitchell needs to be accompanied by the fully informed consent of the citizens of Mitchell County. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Is it Leah
Yes, it is.
Sullivan?
Yes, very
I
good.
got it right.
You get an A.
It's been a long time since I've had a name.
Well, nobody gets my name right, so I think that's awesome. I'm Leah Charlton from Spruce Pine. I live in the Estito area where there are a minimum of 2 of these cameras. I am here to talk about the abuses. This is just one list of the abuses that have occurred from the use of the misuse of these Flock cameras. I'm going to discuss these, and when my time is up, I invite you to look at all the others that I haven't been able to address. In Johnson County, Texas, cops used thousands of cameras to stalk across state lines a female who got an abortion. Flock cameras access private live cameras to watch young girls in pools and in their swimsuits and in their skimpy outfits in a gym. Lenexa, Kansas, another more cameras were used to stalk a person who wrote an op-ed, and then they stalked him again. Eugene, Oregon, Evansville, Illinois, and Cambridge, Massachusetts, cameras still active after cities specifically asked SWAT to turn them off. Missouri, a detective stalked his wife using the cameras. Milwaukee detective stalked a girlfriend. Georgia police chief used to harass and stalk several people. Wichita lieutenant stalked his wife. Menasha police officer stalked on numerous occasions his ex-girlfriend. Georgia reserve officer used to commit corporate espionage. Congressional Oversight Committee documented many instances of national abuses to harass and wrongly arrest. Georgia police officer accepted a bribe to check on a woman's plate number. Thornton, Colorado police officer ran 20,000 unauthorized searches. Costa Mesa, California officer harassed a woman thousands of times and stalked her using data from the cameras. Minneapolis, innocent drivers were caught in dragnet surveillance. Virginia, innocent drivers caught in dragnet surveillance. Bonner Springs, Kansas, an ex-detective who was used it to stalk his wife after he was fired and commit child sex abuse. Dunwoody, Georgia, unauthorized sharing of data and innocent drivers caught in dragnet. Riverside, County, California, over 500 cameras released to wrong permittee, who then continued to use them for over a year. False arrests and stops, including one of a man repeatedly stopped, possibly because of a 0 in his plate instead of a O. California class action lawsuit for unauthorized sharing, leading to unauthorized immigration enforcement and dragnet surveillance. Woodburn, Oregon, unauthorized sharing and immigration dragnet. Milwaukee officer used to stalk a woman. National unauthorized sharing of ice and innocents caught in dragnets. I would love to leave this with you all so you can examine it thoroughly if you would like, because we have many in this county. Thank you.
Jeremy Wise.
How are y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good evening. My name is Jeremy Wise and I'm a resident of Mitchell County. I've been following these meetings online and I want to start by saying I really appreciate the effort that you've all made to make them more accessible to the public. I also want to be very clear that this is not a personal attack. I believe everyone on this board cares deeply about this community. I'm here because of these AI-powered flock cameras that have been installed on our roads. This system is collecting and storing data on every person in our community, and I believe that decision was made without public input, without clear policies in place, and without most people even knowing what the cameras are. That's a problem, because this affects every person who lives here, every time they leave home and drive on one of our roads. That's not how decisions like this should be made, especially when they involve powerful new surveillance technology. This is not as simple as being for or against the cameras. It's about whether the public is informed, whether there are safeguards in place, and whether people can trust how the technology is being used. So moving forward, I think the 3 things are necessary. First, full transparency. The public should be able to see the contract, the cost, and understand how this system operates. Second, a clear written policy that defines who can access the data, how it's used, how long it's kept, and what safeguards are in place. And last, public accountability, so that decisions like this aren't made without the public being informed and involved. Public safety matters, but so does keeping the public's trust, and that trust isn't built by asking people to accept something after the fact. It's built by bringing them into the process from the beginning, and that's all I'm asking for. A process that people can trust. Thank you.
There was only 3 people signed up. Is anybody else in the audience